Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I want to make a short video on making sure your worldly goods, your possessions, your survival gear, your prepping stash does not get you killed in a worst case event. A lot of people have a lot of prepping gear. You might spend a lot of money getting everything set at your house. And I've seen that when I consulted. People would want to get a nice big solar system on their roof, get a lot of power. They put a lot of infrastructure in that costs lots and lots of money. I want to make sure those things don't get you killed. Rich people can throw a lot of money at prepping, and that could be a hindrance. I have seen it. If you're going to want to survive a worst case, and I'm talking EMP goes off, a total collapse of everything that we have in this country, don't let your possessions get you killed. You might say, well, I got this $35,000 solar system, so when it all falls apart, me and my family will be safe. Well, you might and might not. If you live in a small community, people talk, trust me. It happens in my community. Something happens in the community, and before you know it, it's through the whole community. So if you get something new, or you get in trouble with the law, it doesn't take a good day or two, and everyone knows. So if you put in a $35,000 solar system, somebody knows about it. Somebody's going to talk to somebody, or good old Google Earth will give you away. You can get spied on. So be careful, because I'm afraid that some people have put so much time and effort and money into their homestead, their prep retreat, they're going to be very hesitant to leave it. And I mean that. If a force comes against you to loot you, to steal from you, and you can tell, hey, there's 40 guys out there with guns, and it's just me and my family in here. Hopefully there'll be a few families that you've band together with at one location. You could stay and fight it out, and I've seen that. I've gone through enough training exercises and real world events where sometimes you abandon your defenses. You look over the battlefield and you say, I'm going to get my butt whooped. Or I might stay here long enough where I can't retreat. That's very possible, and most preppers are probably going to do that. If you get decisively engaged at your retreat and you don't have a good bug out way to get out of your retreat, go through the woods, go somewhere, you're going to be eliminated. You'll have no options then. You'll have to fight to the death. And you might say, nobody's going to take me off my mountain. Yes, they will. I've seen it all over the world. I've seen it firsthand in places. If somebody wants something and you have it, you're going to lose it. There's always somebody bigger and stronger. That's why don't let your prepping items get you killed. You have to be able to abandon them in a second. You need to have a plan. How am I going to leave my house? Leave all this stuff behind. That's why you got to say, hey, maybe I need to take some of my supplies and cache them. If you own a big piece of property, put them here and there all over the property, hidden, bury some. Maybe leave them at someone's house a little bit, so if you do have to leave your primary retreat, you got something. Because in a grid down, SHTF, end of the world as we know, whatever you want to call it, EMP event, the only thing that really is going to matter is your physical possessions, your bank account, your stocks, your bonds. You might have lots of money in there. It's not going to matter. So if you have the money, think about that. If you don't have the money, I know people that they work at the mill. They have a small garden, small piece of property. They might do just as good as that rich prepper with, 14 AR-15s, 20,000 rounds of ammo, all that other stuff. Because they already know how to live very basic. And you know what? They might be just very willing to grab their bag, their bug out bag, and their family and just leave. Some might be, hey, I've worked all my life for this, and this is little house, and this is my little piece of property. I might stay and fight to the death. You better not have that mindset. You have to be able to leave your property, retreat, leave it all. Your life, your family's life is not worth it. Now, you can do a lot of things to prolong that decision. And combat multipliers, networking, a prepper group, your own individual tribe of trusted people. it's going to take a lot of work. You can throw money at prepping, but you also got to throw a lot of effort, a lot of time. I'd rather have a few close families that are really tight-knit tribe than a big group that's not as tight. Things are going to break in SHTF. So you might be relying on that tractor. You can see my field here needs to be cut. You might be relying on that tractor. My tractor is actually across the river, but it is sitting down there with a broken hydraulic line. It comes in today. So your best plan, and that actually might be the dealer calling. It's not. Your best plan of that nice piece of equipment, that solar system, that awesome bug out vehicle, for a very small little piece breaks in SHTF, you're going to have nothing. You're going to have a piece of junk. So that's why I want to say, get your life simplified in the sense of have a backup to your backup to your backup. Your backup might be, your ultimate backup might be a spring near your house, a creek near your house where you can get water and boil it or purify it in some way. You might say, I got a Berkey. Yeah, you know what? You could be cleaning that Berkey and you could drop that filter. It could hit the ground and break, become worthless. What's your backup plan from there? It might just be simply boiling water. So you need to start thinking very, very, very simple. I bought a new DR brush mower and it's in the shop right now. It was brand spanking new. I got it, started it, and it will run good for a few minutes, and if you shut it off and it's warm, it won't turn on. So it could be a coil, it could be vapor lock, I don't know. My brand new DR is sitting in the shop not far from here. So anything can happen, anything can break. Get a simple plan for your safety. And don't let money, don't let your possessions get in the way of sound tactical decision of when do I stay and fight, when do I retreat. I did it in real world situations. We would go into an area, take it, and then realize, you know what, it's probably not wise to stay here during the night because we don't have the manpower to hold it during the night. We can hold it during the day. So we would go into an area and then immediately leave that night and go back to a safe location. You know, sometimes that's done because politicians say, all right, go take that village and then give it back to the enemy. And sometimes it's just stupidity that happens, and sometimes it's good tactical sense. So you need to be prepared to do that. Leave your property and then maybe hopefully eventually come back and take it. Don't get killed over your possessions. I hope this helps. Have a plan. Have a simple plan. My life is going to exist because I can get water from a creek. I have a wood stove that I can heat my house. I don't have to rely on that solar system to use all these pumps and all these other things. Simple. That's why I'm thinking more in line that, and I'm not dishing the guys that have those solar systems. Trust me, they're awesome, they're nice, and if you can afford it, put it in. Because it might not be the end of the world situation. It could be a Great Depression. It could be a local event where you're not going to have power from the grid. So go ahead and do that. But you better have a backup plan. That's why I'm thinking more in line with some small solar that I can bring in my house, take out when I need it. And I'll be showing you a few of those. I think they're very important because I can take that small solar and bug out and still have a little bit of power for lights and commo gear, which I think is the biggest thing. Powering your commo gear is the most important thing. You better have a plan for that. You want to know what's happening. Even if it's only powering an AM, FM radio, you need to know. So I'm going to continue hiking. This is the back of the property. I'm going to hike down to the river and hopefully see some wildlife. Coming in here, I've seen a lot of tracks, coyote, raccoon, deer, pig, and bear. So maybe I can see something. Thanks for watching.